This regular meeting of the Montoursville Area School District Board of Directors on this Tuesday, June 13th, 2023. At the time is 7:17 p.m. The late start was due to a committee meeting that preceded this regular meeting. I'll ask the secretary to call the roll.
Mr. Albert.
Here.
Mr. Bodger is absent this evening. Dr. Beery.
Here.
Dr. LaCrone.
Here.
Dr. Mathers.
Here.
Mr. Schindler.
Here.
Mr. Snell.
Here.
Mr. Ulmer.
Here. Here. I would invite all those present to rise with me and join the pledge of flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic that stands one nation indivisible, with liberty and justice. That's disrespectful. Disrespectful. It's my right to tell you it's very disrespectful.
Madam, please. Madam, please. This is not the time. This is the board's business meeting. And we'll move on now to recognitions and presentations. Are there any administration, anybody? Business manager, anything for us? Okay. Nothing. All right, and student representative, he graduated. So
He did.
We'll get a replacement. Then with that, we'll move on. I'll add an item D, if you will, to Roman number 1 there. We have to add agenda item P8. So I would take a motion to add agenda item P8, and that is that additional personnel hire. And I believe you all got that by email. So take a motion to add P8 to the agenda this evening. Second. Any questions on it or anything?
Yeah, hang on till I didn't get the email.
But it's approval of following addition of following professional staff, employee Jenny Krebshaw, certification in elementary school counseling, a rate of pay a master step 14 of $80,296 effective July 1, 2023, a replacement for Alice Wheeler.
I still didn't get it.
Should be done. Yeah.
We'll see it Friday.
Well, I said that.
That'll help. Thank you.
All right, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll add P8 to the personnel items. All right, moving now to reading of the minutes and approval thereof. We have the May 9th regular meeting and the May 23rd work session. Had a chance to look them over and see there's no amendments, corrections. I'll take a motion.
I have a correction to make. On May 23rd work session, under BF1, it has me inquiring about the need for armed and unarmed security. I never inquired about the need for armed. I was inquiring about the need for unarmed security now that we have the armed.
Basically, the door monitors is what.
Exactly.
And
I will have the minutes reflect that revision for more specificity and clarification there on that.
and on the Tuesday, May 23rd, I think it's just a typo of the guest teacher list. Mr. Snell inquired about the difference between social studies and psychology, not physiology, I believe.
Yeah, it was psychology.
Okay. We have that correction. All right, with those corrections. All in favor, say aye.
I
Opposed? Let's have it. Okay, and Mr. Farrar is waylaid a little bit. He will be here, I believe. Yes.
Yes, he's a kindergarten.
Okay, all right, so we will put his presentation at the right time and place when he's here and settle in. All right, moving on now then to the public comment section of the meeting. We'll invite residents and taxpayers. They can comment on matters of concern, official action, or any matter of deliberation before the board. Members of the public, we provide them one unpaused 3-minute time frame. So tell us who you are, where you live, and what's on your mind.
Jack Callahan, 113 North Arch Street in Torresville. Yeah, I'm inquiring about the volleyball. I want to know where it's at and what's going to happen. I run into about, to be honest with you, 4 kids actually that they're interested. They're like 9th grade, or they don't want to, one didn't want to play soccer. So I think, I don't know what's the latest that you could go without, setting up a schedule for next year or this coming year or whatever. But I think it's very important that we get this volleyball into the school. I mean, all the schools throughout the area have it basically. And, it's another thing for the girls that, I know it gives them, whatever. And also about the girls wrestling, I don't know how, and there might be some girls that actually want to wrestle girls and that. And so on. And then this message board, I'd like to see somebody, Crabtree, I guess they're going to be down in Montgomery this summer. Somebody would go down there and talk to the guy and see what he can do for us, or if he's putting a message board in down there at Montgomery for them. And that, and whatever. And I'd like to see a message board in that, and have a safe summer, baccalaureate, prom, so on. What's going on, show people in the community as what's going on at the school. And we had the track state champions. I want to know what's going to be done for them. I'd like to see something at either the girls' basketball or boys' basketball where they're honored at halftime or before the game or whatever. And the last guy that did it was what was his name? And they didn't do nothing for him. Last guy that won a state championship in track not too far back. A computer boy, I think his name was. And I didn't see nothing, if it was basketball or something or baseball or football or something, but I didn't see nothing for the tracksters. And I'd like to see something for the relay team. That's about it. If they just, somebody could, I'd like to get a copy of who won the awards for the different things out for graduation. Just for whatever, somebody had one or whatever. All right, that's about all I have.
Brenda Oberheim. I just wanted to tell the policy committee, you did a really great job, and it was a tall order, and there were, legs get tired. There were people that didn't think that you could do it. And I know that, you guys were saying, well, like, how are we going to tackle it? But I really think you did a great job. And I know it takes a lot of time, to do that, and a lot of energy to sit and think through it. And you guys did a really nice job. So thank you.
Now to the like speak, just raise your hand. Let you in. seeing any electronic hands being raised, we'll move on now to the business manager's report.
You've received copies of the treasurer's report for the period ending May 31st, 2023 for the general fund and the cafeteria fund. We are submitting these to the board for your consideration of approval.
Questions? Not hearing anything. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
No budgetary transfers. Wait, I think there was. Okay.
Oh,
We have none in the packet tonight. You've received copies of the listing of invoices for the general fund and the cafeteria fund for the period ending June 13th, 2023. We are submitting these to the board for your consideration of approval and payment.
need to approve.
Second.
Question.
I have one question on page 42, check number 65076 to Pittsburgh Stage Incorporated, in the amount of $16,818. Where's that money coming from? Is that from
Foundation.
the foundation?
Yep.
Okay,
You'll see one more of those and then that project's done.
one more from the foundation
Yep.
too? Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Any other questions? Madam Secretary, if you have a roll call vote on that?
Mr. Albert,
Yes.
Dr. Berry,
Yes.
Dr. LaCrone,
Yes.
Dr. Mathers.
Yes.
Mr. Schimmel,
Yes.
Mr. Snow,
Yes,
Mr. Ulmer,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yeah.
Okay. And just, talking in regards to what's going on in the business office right now. We are set to start, the audit at the end of July. We got that worked out. We are currently still waiting on insurance rates for next year. Our rate came in very high and we were shopping it, and we've had to do some interviews with some other insurance companies. And we're working through that still, so we're still trying to get insurance rates for next year. You will see in here, there is no increase in lunches for next year. We have been profitable, so we will not be increasing any lunch prices in the following year. Also, you see, we have a contract in here with nutrition. We finished out our first 5-year contract with nutrition. It was a very successful contract. We had to go through the rebidding process. We had one other company interested in bidding on the contract here. And I think they came in, kind of saw what nutrition was doing, and they never submitted a bid. After that, we didn't hear back from them. So we only got one bid back. I think it's a very good bid. And I realized that you were missing the pages that give, someone pointed out that the pages with the profit is not in there. So for next year, the profit is $100,416.43. So no matter what happens next year, that's our guarantee for next year. And Kristen is here from nutrition, and so is Carrie. Kristen was our food service director, but she has been promoted. And Carrie is now our current food service director. And I told her she had big shoes to fill, but she is doing a really good job. We've been working together since January. So that has been going very well. So you'll see that in here. That's some of the things that we have been working on, wrapping up the year, trying to get orders prepared for next year and the budget has no changes in it. As Mr. Snell and I were discussing earlier, if what is being looked at the state goes through, we will be in very good shape. I think it will be something less than that, but I do agree with Mr. Snell. We are going to get some increase in subsidy. So I think we are in good shape with our budget. With the no increase, and we will move forward with that. I do not have anything else for this evening.
I have a question. Are the final numbers in for the food service group?
Or what?
For,
The bid.
no, I'm not talking about for the bid. I'm talking about for the current year where, are we getting any money back? Like we normally do? That we have to use?
It's excess revenue.
Yeah, yes. For this year? Audit. Okay,
I just got May's paperwork last week and then I won't get June's paperwork until later on. We're still closing out senior accounts and there's a lot of behind the scenes things that go on in there. And then we have to look at negative account balances because that can't carry over 2 years and do a lot of other things. And that goes through the full audit, just like the rest of the books do.
so
So
that's when the final number comes out, whatever the
we were
auditors.
profitable, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're not losing money or there won't be, we made a profit in that. And we will have to spend some funds and we are working with the grants. I think I have it right here.
But don't forget the Valley's cafeteria when that money has to be spent.
We were looking at an oven. We did a steamer. We did refrigerators.
But we're looking at, one of the grants that we're looking at right now is for an oven up there. And the grant is actually coming back out again. So we're hoping to get approved for both of them. But we'll see what happens there.
Dan, do you remember that grant that I sent you a while back? When can that be applied for?
It's not till the fall. I don't know the exact dates.
But you're gonna look into that when it comes up?
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
So what was the 146,000 profit that you announced?
100,450.
Excuse me.
That's the bid. So, next year they're guaranteeing that's what our profit will be. Like, it'll be that or more.
Okay. So in essence, I mean, we already know there's a level of profit that's going to occur.
For next year.
And so we would know this year based on last year.
Oh, we're way over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're we're good this year.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
sorry. When
We
I
have
heard
a
that
lot of-
figure.
We have a lot of kids that like to eat a la carte items. They like their cookies, they like their bottled water, they like their chips, they like their extra pizza, extra sandwich. Some kids spend $10 a day. So up here in the high school level, so it is really, the cafeteria, especially here at the high school, I mean, all the buildings do well. But I think a lot of it has to do with the options and the setups. McCall does really well with a la carte also. Elementaries like to sell ice cream, but sometimes that's not liked by the teachers, but
It's
So-
just so different and so positive. I'll use the word nice in comparison to historically the cafeteria was a loser
Well,
and always had to be subsidized, you know.
the food presentation helps sell food.
Thank you.
Thank you. But the presentation of the food helps sell it. And they've done an excellent job with that and putting together menus and offering options and keeping food costs low by keeping track of what's selling and how much is selling and when they're selling it. I mean, we do have problems. Sometimes we run out of things. We don't have as lot of waste because kids buy it. Kids like the food.
Do we have more staff eat now at the cafeteria now than we used to?
Yeah, I would say we do. I don't know historically, but I do know, it's, yes. So
And very positive.
it's very positive and I am happy that we are continuing on. We have another 5 years now with nutrition, so. As long as you guys approve it tonight, so. That's all I have.
Okay, with that, we'll move on to the superintendent's report. And by way of that, we'll go around the administration and see what they have to offer us tonight. We'll start with Mr. Hatter.
Thank you. I want to send out my thanks and appreciation to Jill Beck, who has been a paraprofessional at McCall Middle School in her school district for 22 years. And she is officially now retired and starting to enjoy the next part of her life. But in her career, she's helped so many of our students and has been a big difference and made a big difference in their lives. So I wanted to definitely let her know, as well as the public know, that how much we appreciate her dedication to our school. Also, I wanted to let you know that at graduation, we had 22 identified students graduating, and they were identified special needs, gifted, and students with a 504 service agreement. So that was really nice to see, and it was a great graduation ceremony despite the rain. Luckily, it dried off not too long after that. That was nice. And then we also have a paraprofessional conference that the IU is hosting coming up. It's the 7th annual paraprofessional conference. This year, they're planning on it being a virtual conference as well. It's scheduled for August 10th. And I know that we've already got the information to our paraprofessionals and had several already register and sign up for that conference. By attending that, they will be able to attend many different workshops that will help them in their careers here with us, as well as whatever they attend will count toward their required professional development, that they'll need for the upcoming school. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Albert.
Piggyback on that, I mean, down and retired this book for 2 minutes. I feel like it's that she diligently up to the last day of school. Sometimes you don't see that, and she doesn't an advocate for her replacement. So just shout out to her for her dedication right at the end, doing a good job and
Okay.
thank you. Students and families and staff. Great career and for a great first.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Myers, we'll jump over to you.
Thank you, Mrs. Albert. It was an amazing year with Mrs. Albert. So thank you for professionalism and dedication to staff. Thank you. It is a year of giving at McCall. We had all of our student activities, whether it was activity days, fun days, raised through fundraisers to the community. Thank you to the parents and community and students for that. I also want to thank the staff, faculty and staff. We raised over $2,300 this year through dress down days for community organization. So it really is a wonderful place to be working in the Porterville, and it's great to have a summer break to reconnect and re-energize. And we're looking for some pilots in science next year. And Mrs. Albert and I and the team are looking to move forward in a positive way. So thank you to the community and the board for your support.
Thank you. Mr. Blaze.
So just, we was, the last month's school was as action packed as it could get. We had, BMX, bike, assembly. We had bouncy day, we had kickball tournament, just, making school as fun as we possibly could after all the hard work that all the teachers and kids put in this year. They really enjoyed it. Getting ready for our kindergarten, parent, orientation info night, Thursday. And other than that, just getting ready for to start next school year already. It was awesome. I had a blast this year and I'm excited for next year.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Farrar, you've got two items for us, and we'll fit you in for your report momentarily, but how about in terms of the wrap up for your school year?
Yeah, like Mr. Blade, lots of things going on, the PTO and the teachers and the staff, parents all work together to, after the hard academic work, do some fun celebrations and we bounce houses and fun in the sun, which was fun in the smoke, which we did in the gym then, so they still had fun dancing, the music and reading, but we just made that precautionary call that morning of like, this is the only way this is going, we're gonna stay inside today, but thankfully the weather quality made that doable. But now the kids worked hard this year, colleagues said, just blessed with good kids, good families, great staff, and just the work we do together. Just get done meeting with about 40 parents, and mainly all of them new kindergarten. A program I talked to Mr. Blaze, we've done pre Mr. Kurtz's retirement and pre-COVID. We started designing this that those brand new parents who've never been through this. It's just good to give them some more general information, meet with them, ease some of those anxieties they may have. Get a chance to meet us a little better and not have all the parents. Like I always tell the veteran parents when we come back, you guys are veterans. Stay home. This is mainly for those new parents. Really good night thing, good crowd, and they appreciated the chance to learn a little bit more about our schools, and you can sense some of the tears are already welling for some, but as they walked out, there is that sense of excitement, and that's why I would advise a kindergarten parent, best thing you can do, and this is true for senior parents. But if you're excited and positive, they're going to be excited and positive. If they sense you being anxious and upset, they're going to be anxious and think something. Forward to the new class.
What do we think the enrollment's going to be?
It's kindergarten enrollment is lower than it's been, but we also, we tend to get some over the summer, but overall it's been a little lower than we've seen most years. So we'll see what the number of summer brings us.
Great, thank you. Mr. Nofo, anything for us? Okay, just curiosity question, couple of piles of topsoil over at the middle school, or is that sand tennis or volleyball court coming out, or what's that?
The definition of topsoil is?
Well, it's dirt.
Brick bottom.
Oh, it's dirt. How's that? There's dirt over there. Is that?
Yeah, but he was saying there was piles of topsoil, Joe.
Well, I didn't have my glasses on, Ron.
It's free. Topsoil.
Well, maybe you can pick the stones out of it and we can use it as topsoil.
Okay, sorry I asked. Okay, moving right along. Pfeiffer, have anything for us? Okay. We'll come over here to the assistant superintendent and see what he has for us.
I don't have much. It was a very different experience for me to close the year. Unfortunately, we had a choice, rain or smoke. We picked rain, and I just expressed to the admin team at our last admin meeting of the school year how much I appreciated their support through my transition to this position. It is difficult when you move in district to a position of leadership. I was not the greatest of colleague when I was high school principal. My mission was high school, and get out of my way, but this is different. I have to pay attention to everyone and everything, and their support was tremendous. I really enjoyed the Fridays out at the buildings with you guys, and it's a great team that we have here, and I'm excited about the future, whatever that brings. So thank you, admin team, and that's all I got.
I guess we'll move, we will move the agenda item 3 right now to Mr. Farrar. He is our Federal Programs Director, and he will deliver the stakeholders report and discussion that may follow.
Yeah, this is a requirement when you're developing your consolidated application every year for federal program money. As you know, we receive a chunk of money via the Department of Federal Programs through the Department of Education in the state. You use it for a number of things, but mainly, and we talk about Title I fund, it's for improving either language arts and reading and math. And you have Title II, which you can use for professional development or class size reduction, and Title IV, which is as well some monies that is designed for, again, either professional development, expansion of training teachers and recruitment, or you can again work with class size reduction. Our overall monies that we receive is very small compared to a lot of our neighbors across the state. So, and actually our allotment went down a little bit this year. It's based on a number of factors of, and they look at, our number of pre-reduced staff, status, our enrollment overall, and then they calculate the allotments for everyone across the state. So we if you combine all 3 title programs, we're about 390,000 or so. That's down about $18,000 total compared to last year's allotment. So Title I monies we tend to use for focusing on reading instruction, building those building blocks at the elementary levels. Some districts have enough monies they can help to get extra staff to help work on math skills, and we do math intervention, just not through title. We do it with some of our own staff. But we focus on the reading instruction at that level. Title II and IV, we traditionally, again, use those monies to supplement and help pay a good portion of a teacher's salary at the elementary levels to reduce class sizes. Again, we've seen that at the lower levels, that if we have lower class sizes, it allows for more intervention and adaptations and meeting the needs of our earliest learners. Again, we could look at other avenues to spend it. Mainly in the area of professional development, but again, we always look at that focus that our best bang for our buck is getting our students off to an early start. And so one of my questions with that, knowing that's how we spend our funds, is there anyone who's thinking differently than what we've traditionally done? Part of that, again, we have a parent and family engagement program. That basically, we have a policy that is at the district level as well as the building level. And again, that biggest piece is we help parents with transition, not only from preschool to elementary, but middle school, elementary to middle to high. And we have a process and plan we develop through that. Communication as far as, getting students off to a good start through the elementary years. And then, of course, about high stakes testing and so forth. So that's basically what we've done with title program. The title staff have done a really good job. They're top-notch folks, and our MTSS folks, which aren't paid out of title funds, do a really good job too to help support academic needs for our children. So I can tell you on the non-public side, we are a little fortunate this year. On the Title I side, we will not have any. There at St. John Newman, we don't have any district residents who qualify for low economic status with 10. St. John Newman, so we will not spend any Title I dollars in non-public. But still waiting to hear back with regards to Title II and IV. Fairfield Academy do have some school age, do a couple of school age children possibly. They're deciding whether they're going to run a kindergarten program or not. That's a very nominal amount of money they're eligible for. That's based on their enrollment compared to our enrollment per student dollar and so forth, but it's usually not very much for the Title II and $4. So we'll work on getting all that paperwork submitted.
Thank you. All right, with that, then we'll move on now with the agenda items, and looking over our agenda items board, I'm proposing that we will group the generals into one block and the transportation and personnel. But that's what I would like to do. But first, let's start with the general items. So we have G1 through G15. If there's an item that you wish to have separated, that's fine. Let's do that. If there's an item that you believe by necessity should be for some reason, sure, certainly point that out. Otherwise, if you would review them. And
Dave,
yes,
on G12, you don't need to pull it out, but just wanted to double check that there are two dance recitals. The second one didn't have a group listed. I assume that's also a group 5. Okay, and what is the charge for group 5?
500 for the facility and 50 for a weekday rehearsal, 70 for a weekend rehearsal.
Okay, thank you.
And then any other costs associated with that get billed to them.
Thanks, Dave.
Board, if you're done taking another look at those 15 items as a block and you're comfortable with that, I'll take a motion to approve G1 through G15 when you're ready.
Move to approve.
Okay.
Okay, we have a second. Any questions on any particular items?
I have a question on G9 for the board doc. Which proposal are we voting on? There's
It's the
several.
2,700 option,
Option 1?
2,700 a year.
Okay,
Is it, the highlight didn't come through. on it.
oh, I see now, it's kind of gray.
Great idea.
Yeah, okay,
I-
okay.
I have a question. On G8. Mr. Ulmer isn't running for reelection. So. Why put him as treasurer for only a few months?
That's typically what we do, because then when the new board comes on, they will elect a new treasurer for the remainder of the year.
Okay,
And then the checks and everything have to change anyway with, people being gone. So it's a kind of a clean slate.
all right,
But the treasurer has to be elected for each school year in June for the following school year, but then you just change it in December.
all right,
It's weird. It doesn't follow the president and vice president.
right.
Wow.
There's no other questions then. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving to personnel, we have P1 through P8. And if you take a moment, look at those, and if you'd like to separate anything, feel free to do so.
I would like to pull under P2, pull the secretary position and vote on that separately.
So we have under P2, we will secretary's position and vote on that separately. Okay. Any other? You're comfortable with P1 through 8, less secretary position?
One other question. Dan, how many part-time security do we have?
One,
We currently have one.
yeah.
If I could just comment on P3 with 2 individuals, I worked with both of those and we're getting 2 class individuals there to make sure our students are safe.
Okay. Well, if you're okay with P1 through P8, I'll take a motion on that, less secretary position.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, any other questions? Not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let's have it. So now we're moving to the P2, the secretarial position. Hurry. Oh. Yeah, all right. Okay. All right, so. We have a motion to vote on the secretary.
Move to approve.
Yeah, flip a coin on that, Madam Secretary. I don't know who was first, but.
Second?
Okay. All right. There's a technical question of some kind. Otherwise, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, abstain? Okay, thank you, Ron. Yeah, so we have. Yeah. We have 7 ayes and an abstention. All right. On the transportation, we have T1 through T3. And if you're okay with all 3 of those together, I'll take a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, on to budget and finance. We have BF1, approval of the general fund budget in the amount of 33,510,000 and 510,52,000 fiscal year 2023-2024. And attached was the salary and work schedules. So do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Questions? Roll call. No questions or discussion, Madam Secretary, would you take a roll call on that?
Mr. Albert,
Yes.
Dr. Berry,
Yes.
Dr. LaCrone,
Yes.
Dr. Mathers.
Yes.
Mr. Schimmel,
Yes.
Mr. Snow,
Yes.
Mr. Ulmer,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
BF2, the approval of the 2023 homestead and farmstead exclusion resolution, which was attached.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions on that? Okay, roll call on that one.
Mr. Albert,
Yes.
Dr. Berry,
Yes.
Dr. LaCrone,
Yes.
Dr. Mathers,
Yeah.
Mr. Schimmel,
Yes.
Mr. Snow,
Yes.
Mr. Ulmer,
Yes.
and Mr. Young.
Yes.
Okay, and BF3, approval of following financial institutions to be used as depositories for the 2023-2024 school year. Muncie Bank and Trust Company, FNB Bank, Pennsylvania School District Liquid Asset Fund, and the RBC Capital Markets.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions? And I guess let's do a roll call on that too, I suppose.
Mr. Albert,
Yes.
Dr. Berry,
Yes.
Dr. LaCrone,
Yes.
Dr. Mathers,
Yes.
Mr. Schimmel,
Yes.
Mr. Snow,
Yes.
Mr. Ulmer,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Okay, and BF4, approval of the bank signatories as they were found in the attachment for 2023-2024, which would change at the turn of the year.
They'll change in December, yes.
Yeah. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Any questions on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, that deals with our agenda items. Let's move on now to the committee reports. Madam Vice President, would you walk us through that?
I don't have anything for PSBA. Dr. LaCrone, do you have anything more on the policy committee?
Just that we're happy with our meeting prior to this meeting.
Yeah, and I think it's worth saying that the policy that was drafted and put forth, credit Dan for assembling that piece of work. It was a nice assemblage and massaging of piece here and a piece there, and he did I was just happy seeing it all happen.
Yeah, deserves a lot of credit.
Dr. Berry, anything about you?
We meet next Wednesdays.
Okay. LCTC.
Well, we meet Thursday. I will say that there's nothing on the agenda related to the that proposed project. I sent you that packet, and so there's nothing going to be happening this month. So it will it is tied into the new articles of agreement, and there's not, that's not even on the agenda for reviewing, so could be a slow summer.
Mr. Almer, anything with Memorial Gardens or budget?
Nothing to report for either.
Thank you. Foundation.
This is the last one, were you on?
Yep.
You wanna cut
Yeah, it was last night. Just the same stuff, the EITC is going through a couple of new programs that we have written and going through the process for approval. We've got the last of the Black Box Theater money to spend, which they came out and looked at it. We'll have that spent easily. And marketing through Facebook and web pages and their next event. And they're also looking for more board members, so. That was about the extent of it.
I did see something in the notes regarding an alumni list, if anybody would have access to one, but they're trying to put one together.
It was from some of the work you were doing before the pandemic.
They sent something out today, I think, with the start of a list.
Promising. Mr. Albert, Building and Ground.
Other than the pile of rocks over at the middle school, everything's good.
Okay.
That's the new infill.
Mr. Badger is next.
Warning track.
We're done.
Okay, all right, move on now to the last public comment section of the meeting, and
Mr. Schimmel,
yes,
we do that. Could I'd like to make a request that before, on our next meeting in July, at 6 o'clock, that we hold another policy committee meeting to go over that policy 109.
that's the 12th, 11th, is that? That's the 12th or 11th, I'm well,
11.
all right. Policy committee, you all okay with meeting at 6 o'clock prior to the? Okay, so that'll be July 11 at 6 p.m.
109.
Would you want that still to be on the agenda as a first reading regardless? I mean.
Yeah, because that's a different policy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ron.
119 is the,
Yeah, okay. So that was on, I'm sorry, Ron, 109.
yeah,
Okay,
109. This is a different policy.
yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
Do you want, similar process?
Yes. Please.
All right, good.
That one
Okay.
shouldn't take as long, so,
Right.
but just as a word of caution, if we run up against that 7 o'clock, we gotta get that started, so we'll have to watch our time.
With that, then move to the public comment section and same parameters, 3-minute time frame to speak to us.
Jack Callahan, 113 Arch Street, Twinsville. Yeah, I heard it was on Facebook that the track hours, I don't know, I went from 7:30 in the morning till 3:30, 4:30 in the afternoon, or what were they, the hours?
I think it was 3:30 and Monday
Yeah.
through Thursday.
6:30 to. Saturday and Sunday. Well, I tell you, that walking's contagious. I rocked this before, huh? No, my walking days are about over, but I'm hoping they could improve. Yeah. So it wasn't. Whatever, there's people I see running the streets and the bicycle path, and that doesn't make it. That's not conducive to, you know, you want to be on the actual track, because of, you know, the softness of it and so on, and that you're not gonna hurt it. But I'm telling you, there should be some signs out there saying, no baby strollers, no skateboards, no rollerblades, but I don't think they have too many skateboards and rollerblades anymore. Is it? And, food's taboo and whatever. Yeah, whatever. And, I don't know, but I think it's a good deal. I wish people would take advantage of it, something free. Whatever. And because I remember in the old days, we used to get out there on the cinders and walk and that, we used to walk the track. And I remember an incident where my friend Gary Liddy got hurt playing football. Up, put him up 2x4, and put him over the fence and that, and then his dad did a little complaining that was never locked locked up, and that, but it's a good thing in that, and I mean, the tracksters can get out there and practice on their own, or the football team, or whoever can do a lot and gain a lot by out there on their own. So I'm just hoping it comes out all right, whatever, and you know, there's only one way in. I remember when the track got damaged and some other stuff, that was because somebody left the gate open on Mulberry Street where there's no longer a gate. And after it was done, it wasn't locked up, because I went over and checked it again, it was still not locked up, so it could have gotten nailed again, but you know, that was beside the point. All right.
Thanks, Jack.
Jack, just so you know, people are taking advantage of being able to walk, run on the track. I had multiple people get a hold of me to find out when it was gonna be open for the summer so they could. And
That's great.
it's a lot of elderly people that like to use it too, because they don't like to walk the streets, you know.
Yeah, it's even nice to go there and sit in the bleachers and just dream about
So
stuff.
people are utilizing it.
That's good.
Not seeing anyone else here in this room. Let's go to online. And if there's anybody online that would like to speak, raise your electronic hand and we'll let you speak. Not seeing any hands being raised, we'll close this public comment section now, and I guess we're moving on to adjournment, but I will note too that after the meeting, we'll adjourn to an executive session for purposes of personnel. So board, if you could stick around for a little bit on that, and anything for the good of the order?
Big, I have to make an announcement. As of June 22nd, I will be resigning, as I will be moving out of the district, moving to Cincinnati, Ohio.
I have something.
Oh, if I could piggyback on what.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Joe told me a couple weeks ago, love is in the air. Anyway, what board his official last day would be the 22nd, so that's the date of resignation. We have 30 days to replace him. So I would like to suggest that the administration, and Joe will be tendering that officially, but it's going to happen. It's that they would make put an ad in the newspaper. Any interested applicants, candidates, to submit a letter to the superintendent's office, the board, expressing their interest in replacing the region 1, right? Or no, region 3. Yeah, region 3, the borough. You have to live in the borough. Expressing interest to replace Joe. I believe it would actually be the completion of his term. No, how long
Till
would
the
it go?
next election.
So it would be, oh,
And then the next person has to be elected.
He wouldn't make it into this November, would it?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
how we read that letter, correct?
And then after whoever got it in November would serve a 2-year term. And then
Yeah.
You know, serve the, yeah.
Okay, so that's. Okay, well, for anybody that's interested, they can work through those hoops to, with the voter services can explain how to do all that. kind of thing. So, all right, but Joe, we're gonna miss you for a lot of reasons. I've known Joe since I came here, a decade and a half ago, and appreciated going to church with him and his girls, and so we'll miss you, Joe. Okay, so you.
Thank you for your service.
So if you-
Leave your brother behind.
Yeah, he'll say.
Okay.
You better.
So if you, administration would, publish that letter, and in July, we can have the interviews and appoint somebody that evening. So that works for y'all? Okay. All right. Okay, Ron, go ahead.
I would like the solicitor to be asked to see if what we legally can do to somebody that comes to a board meeting and disrespects the American flag in our board meeting. If there's anything legally that we can do, can we ask them to leave or what? But I think it's a question that should be asked of the solicitor. When I'm doing the Pledge of Allegiance, my back's to it, but I've been told this is the second time that this person has disrespected the American flag in our board meeting. And
I hear you.
I, for one, as a veteran, find that very offensive.
I hear you loud and clear. Yes, we will get a legal opinion on that. So the solicitor's on, he's heard that request, the board, unless you know, pursue some kind of a opinion on that, we'll ask him to deliver us an opinion on that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, all right. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Opposed? Let's have it. Meeting is adjourned. And